Roulette isn't quite as random as most people think. It's possible to get a good idea of which section...
The original video tells the story of Nico Tosa, the best roulette player of all time. I want to retell the story in a way that points out some of the things the video kinda glossed over. So the way I understand it, he became the best by just realizing that when you're playing roulette, physics still exists. I'm sorry, you look at the speed of the table, you look at the throw of the ball, and it's gonna land there. That's just how physics works. And you don't need to be perfect at it. You can be wrong and lose money sometimes, as long as you're right often enough that you make back whatever you lost, and then some. And if you can make the odds be ever in your favor and not in the house's favor, it doesn't matter how long you play, you're going to eventually make a profit. So if you walk into a London casino one night and play a couple hundred rounds of roulette, yeah, you're gonna take your couple £1,000 and turn it into 1.3 million in one night. Which raises the biggest question of this story: when do you go home? When your buddy says, you know what we could do with 1.3 million pounds? And you say, make 1.4 million pounds. When you are mathematically almost guaranteed to make a profit, at what point do you say, I have enough? I'm gonna ask you to ask yourself, when do I have enough? But first, let's talk about Fallout. Because when you go to one casino, and in one night play hundreds of rounds of roulette, and make that much of a profit, they're going to be suspicious of you. And so unlike the other gamblers who might have written a memoir or sold the rights to the story to a movie studio, Nico Tosa went home and spent the rest of his life putting his head down and minding his business. And honestly, I respect that. And he could never play roulette like that for the rest of his life. Not because he was banned from playing, but because that version of roulette would never exist again. Because Nico Tosa gave the casinos hundreds of data points to study in one night. They caught on to how the trick worked, and they changed the shape of the roulette wheel. Can you imagine being so good at a game that they don't change the rules? They change the playing field itself to stop you. So the next time somebody talks about reinventing the wheel, tell them about Nico Tosa, and remind them that sometimes the wheel needs to be reinvented. Follow for more heist talk.